Hey friends, welcome back to Spilling the Tea, where we take the stories floating in the headlines and steep them in something more soulful. I'm Ashley, your Taurus tea sipper with a soft spot for community, connection, and the kind of stories that remind us who we really are underneath the noise. And today, we're talking about something that feels rare in the world of professional sport. And honestly, in the world in general. Generosity without strength. Presence without spectacle. A moment that didn't go viral for drama or because it was flashy, but because it was real.
So grab your mugs and take a seat because it's time to spill the tea. But don't worry, we're serving it with a side of wisdom. From pop culture drama to life lessons you didn't know you needed, we're diving deep into the juiciest topics with a self-help twist, of course. So are you ready to sip and reflect? Let's get into it.
So here's the headline. Buffalo Bills tight end Dawson Knox returned to his alma mater, Brentwood Academy, to host a completely free football camp for local kids. No press clips, no corporate sponsorships, just show up, bring your cleats, and play. And today I want to unpack what that means, not just for those kids, but for all of us. So grab a cup of something delicious. I'm sipping iced lemon blackberry tea. It just felt right. So let's spill the tea. On July 10th, Dawson Knox, currently a tight end for the Buffalo Bills, hosted a free youth football camp for kids at his former high school, Brentwood Academy in Tennessee. This is where his own journey started. This is where he first learned the fundamentals, where he discovered what he was capable of, and where he laid the groundwork for what would become an NFL career. And instead of charging a fee, selling merch, or putting his name on a headline event, he kept it simple. 200 kids, one field, no price tag. He said, I think my main calling is to bless this community. And that hit me. Because in a world that is constantly pushing us to monetize, promote, expand, he's showing us what it looks like to return. This wasn't just a feel-good PR moment. If you know anything about Dawson Knox, you know this act came from something deeply personal and spiritual. He's spoken before about his faith, about family, and about loss. In 2022, he lost his younger brother Luke, suddenly and unexpectedly. And ever since, Dawson has talked more openly about how precious time is and how he wants to use his platform with intention. So this free camp, it wasn't just about football. It was about connection. It was about presence. It was about making sure the next generation knows they matter, not because they have potential or skill or scholarships, money, but because they exist, because they showed up. What struck me most about the story wasn't the NFL fame or the headline. It was the fact that he returned to a place that shaped him, and he gave back in a way that wasn't performative. And that's something I think we all crave right now. A sense that we're not just being seen for what we produce, that we're allowed to just be and be valuable. Think about how often we're conditioned to tie our own worth to output, to productivity, to hustle, to how many people we can impress. Sometimes the biggest impact comes from quiet presence, from simply giving our time, our attention, our resources without a camera crew, without a post, without expecting anything in return. Dawson didn't just donate gear or cut a check. He showed up. He played with those kids. He talked to them. He reminded them that where you come from matters and that you don't have to leave forever to become successful. Let's talk about what it means to go home. Not everyone feels safe returning to the place they came from. Sometimes our roots are tangled. Sometimes we leave to heal. But when we do have the opportunity to revisit a place and infuse it with something new, something better, something healing, that's a powerful moment. And whether it's a football field or a front porch, your presence in someone else's life could be the exact thing they needed to believe in themselves. You don't need a uniform or a stadium or title. You just need a willingness to give. We always bring it back to reflection. So, with that, here is your journal prompt. Where could you return emotionally, spiritually, or physically to offer something valuable? Maybe it's a call to an old friend. Maybe it's volunteering at a school you once walked through. Maybe it's telling someone they mattered to your journey, even if it's years later. My tea today is refreshing. It's full and it's healing, just like what giving back should feel like. Not draining, but grounding. So, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had someone show up for you in a way that stuck with you? Or are you planning to give back to a space that helped shape you? Tag me at You with the Taurus or leave a comment below. Let's start a ripple effect rooted in gratitude and realness. In the end, this isn't just a story about football. It's a story about values, about what we carry forward when we grow, and who we choose to pour into when we're able. Dawson Knox could have spent that weekend resting, training, rolling. Instead, he chose to return, to give, and to remind 200 kids that they are worth showing up for. That's the kind of story that sticks. Until next time, stay grounded, stay generous, and remember, you don't have to be famous to make a difference. You just have to care. Cheers.